Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on something that's often seen as mysterious or even a bit spooky, tarot. We're going to unpack the system that's hiding in plain sight and see how it all actually works.
So let's just get right to it and tackle the biggest question on everyone's mind, right? Especially if you're a little skeptical. Is a tarot reading just random? Is the reader just making stuff up? Are they just really good at reading people? What's the deal here?
Well, the short answer is nope, not at all. The best way to think about tarot isn't as some kind of magic crystal ball. It's way more accurate to think of it as a structured language, with its own vocabulary, its own grammar, its own rules that all work together to create meaning.
And to learn this language, you really only need to understand three core layers. First, the scope. That's basically the size of the story. Second, the nature, which tells you the type of energy you're dealing with. And third, the context, which is like the specific plot point. Once you get these three, the whole system just clicks into place. Let's do it.
Okay, first up, let's talk about the scope. This is layer 1. See, before you even start looking at what an individual card means, the deck's basic structure gives you a massive clue. It tells you if you're talking about a huge, life-changing event or just a little everyday hiccup. The deck is basically split in two. You've got the Major Arcana, that's 22 cards that are all about the big stuff. We're talking major life themes, destiny, those huge turning points. Then you have the other 56 cards, the Minor Arcana. These guys are all about the day-to-day, the feelings, challenges, and situations that make up our regular lives.
So right away, here's the key takeaway. If you do a reading and a whole bunch of Major Arcana cards pop up, the deck is basically screaming at you that this is a big deal. It's a sign that you're in the middle of some kind of fundamental change or a major period of growth. The scope is massive.
All right, on to our second layer, the nature. So we know how big the story is. Now we need to figure out what kind of story it is. And for that, we turn to the 4 suits of the Minor Arcana.
And this is where it gets so cool. Each suit is connected to one of the classical elements, which gives it its personality. Wands are fire, all about passion, action, and creativity. Cups are water, so they deal with emotions, intuition, and all our relationships. Swords are air. They're about thoughts, intellect, and conflict. And finally, pentacles are earth, so they cover the physical world, money, health, stability.
Now, here's how that works in practice. Let's say you have a position in your reading for your obstacle. If a swords card lands there, the system is pointing you towards a mental block, maybe overthinking or a tough conversation. But if a pentacles card shows up instead, well, now the problem is probably something physical or financial. The suit immediately tells you the nature of the issue. Okay, so we've got the scope and the nature down. The final piece of the puzzle is context, because a card doesn't just mean one thing. Its meaning gets totally shaped by where it lands in the layout, and honestly, this is where the magic really happens.
I absolutely love this quote from the source material. The layout does half the work for the reader. It's so true. Think of the spread or the layout as a blueprint. Each position has a job, like your past, or your challenge, or the future. That structure provides the context, so it's already doing half the heavy lifting for you.
Let's look at a really clear example. We'll take the World card. It's a Major Arcana, and its general vibe is all about completion, success, fulfillment. It's a great card to see, but what is it actually saying in your reading?
This is where context is king. If the World card lands in a spot that represents the past, it's talking about a success you've already had, a chapter you've already closed. But if that exact same card lands in the future position, the message completely flips. Now it's pointing to a big win that's still to come. See? Same card, different context, totally different meaning. And some of the more advanced layouts take this idea even further. There's one called Mr. Tarot's 5-dimension spread, and it gets super specific. For the position about relationships, you have to use a Cups card. For the one about work, you have to pull from the Wands. It basically forces all 3 layers, scope, nature, and context, to line up perfectly, making the reading incredibly precise.
So, let's put it all together now. Reading tarot isn't really about memorizing 78 different definitions. It's about understanding how these 3 layers, scope, nature, and context, all weave together to tell a story.
And here it is, the secret formula, really. You take the card's number, which shows where you are in a process. You combine that with its suit or its element, which tells you its nature, and then you filter all of that through its position in the spread, which gives you the context. That combination is what turns an abstract symbol into real, nuanced guidance.
And really, that's the whole secret. It's not about guesswork. Tarot is a deeply logical, systematic language. Once you understand the scope, the nature, and the context, you can start to see how these layers build on each other to create a surprisingly coherent story.
So, if the system is this logical, this defined, it leaves us with one last really interesting question to think about, doesn't it? What's the actual role of intuition in all this? Is it just about weaving the pieces of the story together, or is it something more? Definitely something to ponder. Thanks for digging into this with me today.